So I'm just going to go ahead and start. So my name is Jeremy Fu. I'm an account executive with Phillip Futures. So in today's webinar, I'll be discussing a few basics on the Forex market and some simple risk management strategies. So I'll just go straight to it. So firstly, a small disclaimer. So all the information here will be just for informational purposes and educational purposes. None of it should be used as a recommendation for any of your trades. So a few of the things that I'll be going through in today's webinar are some of the Forex basics fundamentals, just a quick refresh, a little bit on the risk management on a leveraged product such as FX, protecting and maximizing profits, minimizing losses, and sourcing for trading news and tips, as well as how you can get started trading Forex on MT5. Okay, so firstly, what is Forex? So Forex is always conducted in pairs. So just imagine that you're going to a money changer and you're changing your money. So it always has to be in pairs, and therefore that's why you get the exchange rate. So as you can see in the picture, just imagine you're going to a money changer and you're changing, let's say for this example, the guy is changing his US dollars for some euro. So that's how you get the exchange rate. So it's an agreement entered to buy one currency by selling another at the agreed rate or the exchange rate. So just to note that Forex is over the counter or OTC as they call it. So all the transactions are conducted electronically rather than on a centralized exchange like HKEx. So why should you trade Forex? So Forex is actually a leveraged product. So with less money, you can actually trade more. It's a high volatility, high liquidity. So as you can see from the picture, the Forex market surpasses the other exchanges by quite a significant amount. And there's an average about 5 trillion daily. Because of the leverage, therefore people can actually trade more. So with less money, you can trade a larger volume of currency. And it's a buy direction. So for example, if let's say you're trading stocks, you only can go long, but for Forex, you actually can go long and short without the like buyback period or contra period as people that sell stocks knows. And you actually can hold one buy and one sell for the exact currency pair. So it's actually a good flexibility in terms of buy direction. In terms of timing, it also gives you more flexibility as the Forex market is open 24 hours, 5 days a week. So the market opens at Monday 5 a.m. and closes at Saturday 5 a.m. So depending if maybe you're working, you actually can do some trading at night as well as when the US market opens. If you're trading the major currency pairs, it's usually more volatile during the night after about 8 p.m. On MT5, we also have 0% commission, so we only charge you on the spread. So on top of your trades, we don't actually charge any commission at all. So should you buy or sell? So if let's say you're trading something like the euro dollar and you think that the euro is going to appreciate against the US dollar, then if you go long and the price rises, then you'll be in profit. And if you predict the market price to fall, if let's say you're trading the euro dollar and you think that the USD is going to appreciate against the euro, then you should be going short. And if the price falls, then you'll be in profit. So some of the key features of Forex trading. So as I said earlier, it's only conducted in pairs. So let's say you're trading the euro dollar, for example. So this is just a snapshot from our MT5 platform. You can see the euro dollar and usually the left side price and the right hand side price. If you've been trading stocks, you would know this as the bid and offer price. So on MT5, we try to make it easier for you. If you're buying, has to be on the price on the right, and if you're selling, has to be the price on the left. And you should be able to see the low and high for the day, the spread, as well as the swap. So how do you calculate one pip? So I just use the euro dollar for example. If let's say the current rate is 1.1377, the fourth digit after the decimal would be your 1 pip. So 7 become 8, or if 77 becomes 78, that would be 1 pip. And if 77 becomes 76, that will be 1 pip as well. So if let's say you have a smaller, don't have so many digits after the decimal, let's say for the dollar yen, for example. So if let's say the rate is 107.36, it'll be the second digit after the decimal. So if 35 becomes 34, 36 becomes 35, that'll be 1 pip. 36 to 37, that'll be 1 pip. So the pip determines your profit and loss depending on the volume that you're trading. So on FX, we have three different trading volume sizes. First is the regular, which is the 100,000, the mini, which is the 10,000, and the micro, which is 1,000. So as I said, the leverage is about 20 times. Therefore, if you take 100,000 divided by 20, the margin or the amount that you must have in your trading account will be 5,000. Then for the mini, will be divided by 10, will be 500, and then the micro will be $50. So per pip value, as I covered earlier on, if let's say you went long for a regular lot of euro dollar, and the price went up, you'll be in profit of $10. And then for the mini, will be $1. For the micro, will be 10 cents. And on MT5, the sizing as you place when you place an order, it for the regular will be 1, the mini would be 0.1, and the micro will be 0.01. So actually, I did a previous webinar covering a little bit more on the basics like swaps and a little bit on the beginning of fundamental analysis. So if you are interested, it's actually available on YouTube. You can just text me for the link if you're interested, and there you really should get more information, a little bit on the basics. Today will be just a refresher. So a little bit on risk management. So as you know, Forex is a leveraged product. So with less, you actually can trade more. So with $1, you can trade up to $20 because our offered leverage is about 20 times. So the smaller sizing on Forex is 1,000 as I covered earlier. So if you divide that by 20, the margin required is $50. So to open a trade of 1,000 or the micro size, you must have at least $50 in your trading account. And the margin required will keep increasing as you want to trade more, as I covered earlier. So leverage is a double-edged sword. Your profits can be magnified, but your losses can also be magnified. So without your proper risk management, you could easily run into huge losses. It's actually good to have a little bit knowledge every time you place a trade to reduce your market risk. So every time you buy or sell, you want to know whether roughly is the market is the price going to go up or the price going to go down. So with good risk management, you can minimize your risk and maximize your profit so that you can be profitable in the long run. So you really need to be an expert when every time you place a trade in your fundamental or technical analysis, but it's good to have a little bit idea of which way the market is going to move, or maybe is there a certain chart pattern forming, or is there some impact news that would affect the market or move the market. And so if in that case, if you have a little bit of knowledge, you increase your probability of becoming profitable. And yeah. So a good risk management strategy always have a stop loss. Always have a stop loss. It's a very important thing and it's a very good habit to have. So it's always better to take a small loss now than a big loss in the future. So it's good to take maybe $100 loss now if you're in the wrong than to take a 500 loss later when if let's say you don't have a stop loss and the market moves heavily against you. So without a stop loss, you could easily wipe out most of your account. And if you don't realize your losses, it could just keep snowballing and in the end wiping out most of your account and maybe months of your hard work and profitable trades. So one thing is do not move your stop loss to prevent realized losses or even remove your stop loss. Be a little bit less ego. You can't beat the market as there's definitely is more money than you. So it's good to be stopped out first and then later reassess and then check back to how you can improve or what went wrong in your trade. So if you think about it positively, you could have been stopped out, flip the direction and be profitable than trying to move your stop loss or remove it and run into huge losses. So do not focus only on your entry and take profit, but focus on putting a stop loss at a good level also as compared to your risk appetite. If you only have a take profit without a stop loss, your position will only close when it hits your take profit. So your losses can easily snowball into huge amounts. As it's a leverage basis, it can be large amounts, and you could easily bust or wipe out your whole trading account. So many traders take profit too early and cut losses too late. And it's not good trading discipline. So with good trading discipline, we try to make use of leverage to your advantage and not to your disadvantage. So here I actually have, I think, a very common forex occurrence that might be very relatable to many traders, I think. So okay, you enter into the market, you have a buy price, that's your buy price, and then you put your take profit, and then you put your stop loss, and then you see the market going up, almost hitting your take profit TP target, but haven't reached yet, and you're pretty happy. Okay, I see blue, I'm happy, it's good. And then suddenly the price starts to come down, drops all the way down, and then it hits your stop loss. And then you're like, oh man, that's not good. And you have losses, and you have losses instead of profits. So a simple strategy that to avoid such things, if let's say you entered into a buy price and you put your TP target, you put your stop loss, and you see the price going up, one way to actually minimize your loss and protect your profits is actually to move your stop loss up, either at break even or even slightly above your entry price. And therefore, if let's say the price comes down, hits your stop loss, you will still be in profit. And this is actually it should be able to do on most trading platforms. It's definitely doable on our MT5 platform. Your stop loss has to be below the current market price. If let's say you went long, if went short, it'll be the other way. So another strategy to maximize your profits. Okay, so another same example. If let's say you enter into the market, you did a buy price, you put your TP target, you put your stop loss, and you see the price going up in your favor, and you are happy. So the first one is to incorporate the previous strategy to move your stop loss up. But if it hasn't hit your TP target, shift your stop loss up and shift your TP target up. This is to actually maximize the profits that you can get. So I just leave it here. So just for example, let's say in a trending market, the price shoots up, you actually can obtain more profits as compared to if you were doing it before. So if you do not have the time to monitor the market, you can always place a working order. So either a GTC or a day order, depending on you. So your stop loss and your take profit can be changed at any time, and they are usually GTC orders. Otherwise, if you have a different, if you want to enter the market at a different price, you actually can do a working order. I will cover working orders in my next slide. If you don't hit so you actually can put a working order, and if you don't hit, the order will be just left there, and there'll be no extra cost involved, and you can actually cancel it whenever you want. So as I covered earlier, when you're in profit, move your stop loss to break even or even slightly above if you want to have a little bit of profits. And then to manually move your stop loss or use a trailing stop. So if you didn't know what a trailing stop is, the trailing stop is where you put your take profit and you can input how many pips you actually want to put your stop loss away from your take profit. And as the price moves up towards your take profit, your stop loss will automatically be moved up as well. So if let's say you put your take profit and stop loss 50 pips apart, and if the price moves up, it will also move your stop loss up. But as the price starts to move down, your stop loss won't be moved down. So in that sense, it protects your profit and minimizes your risk in that sense. But I personally don't like to do that, as it doesn't let you give the market the range, the room to breathe, and you can easily get stopped out. But if you were in the right motion, you should already be in profit because your stop loss will already be moved up past your break even point. So if in profit or in the market's trending to increase your take profit or reward ratio, so as I said earlier, to move your take profit higher to allow more profits if in your favor, and this increases your reward ratio. If you get stopped out, reanalyze. Was there a change in trend or market sentiment? Maybe was there a certain chart pattern that reversed the market, or maybe some high impact news that came out, and see what went wrong. So just to remember that your losses can be in profits. You just picked the wrong way. If you see in red, it can be in blue also. It can be in profits. It's not a one versus one competition. It's you trading against everyone else. So if you definitely see the losses, it could have been in profit, just that you went the wrong way, either buy or sell. Yep. So as I covered earlier, we have 6 different order types to enter the market at a certain price that you want. So the first one, we have exchange execution. That is a market order. Then we have the limit orders, stop orders, and stop limit orders. So I'll just briefly go through. So the buy limit order, just you can see in the second box. Just imagine a U-turn. So if let's say the red dot is the current market price, just imagine a U-turn. So when the price dips, it will actually do a buy for you, and then you hope the price will go up from there. So just imagine the sell would be just opposite. So a reverse, inverse U shape. So you think that when the price goes up, they will do a sell, and therefore the price would come down. So the stop orders are slightly different. Just imagine a straight line. So for the buy stop, I do have some arrows here. Once the price reaches the stop, it will create a buy here, and then you hope that the price will continue up. This is actually a good order to catch those breakouts in the market. So for the sell stop, is the same. Just imagine a line, straight line going down. So when the price goes down, it will do a sell here, and then the price will continue going down from there. So the buy stop limit, actually, when it hits your stop price, it will queue a limit order for you. This is usually in more less liquid markets where maybe you want a range to be filled, and if it doesn't fill the range in that range, the order won't be filled at all. So just remember, you can always change your order price. So if let's say you have a pending order, maybe a limit order at maybe $1.50, and the market is at $2, you can always change that whenever you want. And you can always change your take profit and your stop loss price for your open positions as well. All right, so minimizing losses and maximizing profits. So always identify the trend. In every market or every currency pair, the market is either in an uptrend, downtrend, or in a sideways trend. It's one of these three. It's at any point in time, it's one of these three. So it's always good to identify the trend. So you can determine the overall trend from the higher time frames, and then you can look at the lower time frames to determine your entry and exit points. So if it's in an uptrend, always favoring a buy. If you're in the downtrend, always favoring a sell. This is because, like, maybe if you're a beginner or not a scalper, you don't want to trade against the trend, as in it's more risky in that sense. I think I covered a little bit this on my other webinar, so if you want, you can take a look at that. Secondly, your risk to reward ratio should at least be 1:1. At the least, it should be 1:1. And it's always better if it's more. If it's 2:1, that's better. 3:1 is better. If you think about it, if it's the other way, if let's say your risk to reward ratio is 1:2, then you would need at least 2 winning trades to cover your 1 losing trade. And that's gonna pit you in a disadvantage. So it's always good 1:1 at the least. 2:1 is better. so that at least if you have one winning trade, you can actually cover two of your losing trades for break even, if let's say you were unlucky in that sense. Um, Hello, can anyone hear me all right? Okay, maybe I'll just restart the slide. I don't know how many of you could actually hear me. So I'll just restart. So it's always good to identify the trend. So in any market or in any currency pair, the market will definitely be either in an uptrend, downtrend, or sideways trend. So if you can determine the trend, then you can definitely determine whether you should go long, short, or if let's say it's a sideways trend, then you can use support and resistance lines to go about it. So you can always determine the overall trend from the higher time frame. So maybe the 4-hour, daily, or even weekly chart to determine which way is the trend. And then you can look at the lower time frames, maybe the 15 minutes to 30 minutes for your entry and exit points, looking at maybe some of the chart patterns or where the market is trending. So it's always good to have a good risk to reward ratio. So your risk to reward ratio should at least be 1:1. It's better if it's more. If you just think about it, if your risk to reward ratio is 1:2, then you will need at least two winning trades to cover your one losing trade. So it's going to be harder for you to break even if let's say you are in the wrong. It's always good to maybe it's better if it's 2:1 or 3:1. But I know it's hard, so most people at the least 1:1 would be great. So you can customize your take profit and stop loss based on your risk appetite. If you're a scalper, of course, your take profit and stop loss will definitely be tighter. And then if you're a position trader or long-term trader, your take profit will definitely be wider. Your take profit will definitely be wider than a scalper, for example. So I just have one example here. So one example, if let's say the market is trading sideways, so the best basic technical tool that you can use for a sideways market will be a support and resistance lines. I'm sure many of you all know this. If you don't know, you can just Google it or ask me about it. It's a simple technique to use in a sideways market. So have an example here. If you enter a long position somewhere here, so you don't want to place your take profit target above the resistance zone so that it never gets hit. Maybe if you put it above it's actually this zone that the market might just break out a little bit, but then later it would fall. So you don't want to put your take profit above the resistance zone where you can't hit it. You want to put it somewhere here or maybe a little bit lower if you want to be sure that it hits your take profit. And similarly, if you had to enter a long position, you don't want to put your stop loss somewhere above the support zone that you keep always getting stopped out. You want to put it below just in case if maybe. But if let's say it breaks out downwards into a downtrend, then it's always good to have a stop loss so that you minimize your losses. So some of sourcing for economic data or news. So there's actually a lot of economic data table, a lot of data information that is available on the internet. So I actually get my information mainly from Forex Factory or Daily FX or for the daily economic news. So this is actually an economic data table that I do for my clients. Actually summarize the important ones because there's so much data that's coming up on a regular basis. Some are more important than others. So just to quickly rough how to read this table. So if you can see maybe the Tuesday, March 3rd, 11:30 a.m. Australia, the Royal Bank of Australia has their interest rate decision, and usually I would make a small note there to see whether they are expected to keep the rates unchanged or whether they're going to increase or they're going to cut rates. And this will definitely affect the currency, as the interest rates definitely indicate how healthy or how unhealthy the economy is. We have OPEC meetings, that's about the crude oil. And then last one, you can see the non-farm payroll. So this is actually the most important job data for the US, happening the first Friday of every month. And so this indicates how many jobs were created as well as unemployment rate. So knowing that, recently the COVID-19, the US has lost many jobs, like I think it was like 7 to 8 million jobs. So yeah, definitely affected the currency, and this will definitely affect the US dollar. So some of the news and tips from me. So I want to give my clients the most information that they can, the best, the most, everything that you can need to have a better trading view and to increase your probability in the trade. So there are some things that I give to my clients. So if you see on the left hand side, the euro dollar, I give some trade advice. So maybe if I see something, maybe to do a short or a long. So for this example, the euro dollar was expecting the price to push a bit lower. So advice on a short, and then some entry and stop loss targets also. So the secondly would be the economic data table. That actually I covered in my previous slide. So actually be sending that on a weekly basis on Monday morning, as well as highlighting if there's any holidays for the day. And then the last two is actually some news and tips from me. So this is actually done today. So today is actually the Dragon Boat Festival, if you didn't know, or where people eat the zhang, if some of you know. So just a quick portion here. So highlighting some news about the US dollar, give a little bit of view on the euro dollar. So I was saying that yesterday the euro dollar was slightly upbeat, but later weakened as the USD strengthened a little bit, as the US dollar is now regarded as a safe haven. So as you know, the US cases are currently still rising. So the US dollar strengthened. So a little bit on the view there for the day. So I was expecting the euro dollar to lower to a level of 1.12. So I think the euro dollar opened today about 1.1250 in the morning. So if you copied my trade, if you took my advice and you did a short, you should be in profit by now. So I cover some of the major pairs like the pound dollar, the dollar yen, the Aussie dollar, a little bit on the US indices, gold and crude oil. So these are the more popular products that my clients are trading in. But if let's say you have a certain pair that you want to look at or a certain product that you are interested in, always feel free to text me. I can definitely give you a view on that. So that will be, yep. So if you do decide to become one of my clients, I'll be sending to you this weekly data table on a weekly basis, and this would be on a daily basis. So I'm hoping that with all this information, you do have a better idea for trading and hopefully increase your probability. So besides that, there's actually a lot of different websites out there. Just cover some. So mainstream news agencies, Bloomberg, CNBC. Bloomberg, you actually need to pay. They give you about 4 to 5 free articles for you to read. Otherwise, CNBC is free. All their news and analysis are all free there and really good. You also can time when the news comes up, and CNBC will actually alert you. Some of the other sources like investing.com has really good news and analysis, and you can take a look there. FX Street also, Daily FX is another one. The one where I get my main news would be Forex Factory, as you can see there. Otherwise, for us, there's actually a few different things we provide. So for the news portion, we actually provide the daily market commentary, as you can see here. So this is the one that we will send at least once every day. Yeah, it could be more. So how to get started? So How you want to start is maybe you want to start on a demo platform. This is just familiarize yourself with the platform, and maybe you can try this out for 1 to 2 weeks. After that, what I would advise is to open a trading account with us. It's free of charge. You can do an online account opening now, so you don't have to go down. Our office is actually closed for the time being, pending notice to reopen. So you actually can do the online account opening right from your home. And then secondly is to get started on a live account. Small volumes with good risk management. As you know that with a live account, and as when it's real money, it becomes more real, and people tend to practice better risk management. If it's a demo account, people usually don't have the practice of doing a stop loss, and yeah, with a live account, definitely better. So start with a live account, and then slowly you can work your way up on the volumes. And then secondly, lastly, is to incorporate some simple fundamental. Fundamental is actually referring to the news and the market sentiment, and the technical analysis will be looking at your charts or your indicators for recommendation for trade. And then after that, I hope that all my clients would fully understand fundamental or have your own view or fundamental or technical view. And if you want to run some ideas by me, then it'll be good that we can talk about what do you see the euro dollar, or how you see the dollar yen, what's your outlook, then to only take my advice solely, and then after that just trade from my advice only. So it's good to have your own view, then we can actually bounce ideas off each other. So I hope that if you think that forex trading or any leverage trading is a get rich scheme, no, it's definitely not a get rich scheme. It's not impossible if you want to turn your $500 account to your $5,000 account. It's not impossible, but it's going to be quite hard, as you need a lot of winning trades. Therefore, your luck has to be quite high. So usually if you can turn 10 to 20% profit in 1 year from your trading, I would think that's pretty good, and that's actually a pretty good start. I think that is definitely a higher return rate than if you put your money in the bank. So definitely, if you yeah, if you think that if you can turn your $500 to 5,000 account, not so, but I'm hoping that I would try to maximize your probability for winning trades. So please trade with money that you have and not money that you need. Yep, don't think this is a get rich scheme. And if maybe you start trading forex, and maybe if you think that it's not the market for you, maybe you can explore into other financial products to suit your trading style or your risk appetite. We do have CFD trading, so that is similar to FX. Do contact me if you're interested. It's on MT5 platform as well. It'll be more on the US, on the indices, or on a single stock, so like DBS or Singapore Airlines. So things to consider. So when you get to know, when you just start to invest in a product, please understand or know your product and understand the risks involved. Don't blindly invest your money in things that you might not know or you don't really understand. So you want to choose a broker that you know that your funds are safe and they wouldn't charge you every time you deposit or withdraw your funds. So you want a broker that's contactable with ample support. You want a reliable and stable platform. You don't want every time your trading platform to lag or shut down whenever there's high impact news. So MT5 platform is actually pretty stable. It is, even during high impact news, you don't see that much lag. It's always good to have a broker that's also regulated by MES, so that you know that your funds are segregated and safe. Lastly, understand the risk, and hopefully we can chat, maybe develop a trading strategy that's suited for you. Maybe if you're a scalper, maybe you're a swing trader, you're a position trader, and then we can talk about whenever you enter to a trade, where your take profit, stop loss targets are, how much can you go for, what indicators to look at depending on your pair, and then to develop a whole strategy for you. So after you open an account, the minimum funding will be 500 Sing dollars for foreigners, Singaporeans, or PR. So yeah, you can't deposit less. But if let's say you want to deposit more, it's always good. For me, for a beginner trader, someone that's just starting out, I would think that about 2,000 to 3,000 would be a good amount to start with. After you convert that into US dollars, maybe $2,000 is going to be about 1,003 to 1,004 US dollars. With that, you can definitely open multiple trades. If you just deposit 500, after you convert it to US dollars, it's only about 360. You can't even open the mini size, so that gives you some restrictions. So for me, if you're just getting started out, about 2,000 to 3,000 is a good amount to start with for your trading account for FX. So if you liked what you see today, and you decide to open an online account, do indicate my name on the third page of the of your application. Otherwise, I have a QR code at the end of my presentation. Then you can just scan the QR code if you want to open through your phone. If you can do it straight away on your phone as well. Just have your bank statement prepared, because you do have to upload your bank statement, and your SingPass is required as well. Yep. Otherwise, if you don't indicate my name, they'll actually like randomize your account out into any other broker as well. So if you do want me to become your broker and receive some news and tips from me to increase your probability for trading, please do indicate my name, or I have my contact number. If you do submit your application, do just let me know. Yep. So that's my name, Jeremy Fu. My mobile number is there. Otherwise, you can email me if you feel more comfortable. Our office is at Raffles City Tower, or on top of Raffles City Shopping Centre at City Hall MRT. Some of the things that I'll be sending you, so the daily news updates, everything will be sent by WhatsApp. So the news update that you saw earlier on a daily basis, the weekly economic data table update on Monday, as well as I try to give out as much technical views or advice on trades as much as possible. Otherwise, I do free one-to-one coaching for clients. Now we can actually do a one-to-one if you like, because now they ease up on the circuit breaker lockdown. So we can do a meetup if you are. Otherwise, we can do a Zoom. I've been doing a few Zooms with a few of my clients. I think it's pretty effective. They've opened accounts, started trading. So from Zoom also we can do the platform demo. Yep. And I'm also contactable even after office hours, as I know the Forex market is still running even after 6 p.m. our time. So if you have any questions or want to ask me some things, I'm usually contactable after office hours as well. So besides the help that I provide, Phillip Futures actually does provide some help as well. So the first one will be the Trading Central. This is actually a external website that we actually incorporate into our clients. It's actually a technical view, so they will send at least once per day in the morning, sometimes even more, and they'll give you a technical view. So if you can just see here, they just did example for the dollar yen. So their view for today was that the dollar yen is going to drop, and some of your take profit and stop loss targets as well. So they do up to 30 pairs, and it's now available on MT5 also, but they will also send you an email to receive this. And I think it's actually quite good, as more information that you gather, you have a better understanding of which way the market. If more people think it's going to go down today, it's probably going to go down. If more people think it's going to go up today, it's probably going to go up. And yep, the more information you have is good for you. So the second one will be your fundamental or news update that we will send to you on a daily basis, at least once per day. Gives you a little bit of the fundamental news update. And then lastly, we have the auto chartist on MT5. This is a charting chart pattern software. So it's only available on the desktop. So either you can plot it yourself and they can identify some of the triangle patterns, maybe a certain chart pattern, identify some maybe upwards moving triangle, down moving triangle, consolidation. They can usually tell you this. Otherwise, if let's say you're more comfortable, they will actually send a report. You can see on the left is the Forex report, at least 3 times per day, one during the Asian hours, which is in the morning, the European session, which is in the afternoon, and the US session, which is at night. And they'll be covering some for that day or that session, which currency pairs you're looking at. So currently we still have a refer a friend promotion. So if you do have a live account, you do recommend your friend to open an account as well. And if they trade at least one lot within 1 month from the account activation date, you receive $88 Sing for futures accounts and $66 for MT5 for Forex accounts. So besides FX trading, we do have CFD trading, which CFD would be on our MT5 platform. So that's on the US indexes. Also for the Singapore indexes, Hong Kong index as well, Hang Seng. Otherwise, we do cover a large number of stocks as well. So like DBS, Singapore Airlines, Tencent, Nokia. It's on our available on our MT5 platform. But if let's say you are interested, you want to do some futures trading as well, that's available on our Nova platform, Phillip Nova. So if you are interested, maybe to get started on futures trading as well, do contact me and we can go through some of the basics, maybe go through the platform and see if it's a platform suitable for you or product that's suitable for you. So come to my second last slide. So that's my name. Do contact me if you have any other questions. My mobile is there. This QR code is to open an online account opening if you're interested. I'll just take some questions from the audience. So yep, feel free to take a look at this. Take a picture if you like and contact me if you have any questions. Okay, so I have a question from the audience. They ask, what is the margin requirement for euro dollar and any additional cost to trade this pair? So the margin for the euro dollar, it's about 500 for the regular lot. It'll be about 5,200 US dollars, and so for the mini size would be about $520, and then about $52 for the micro size pair. So just remember that the margin is about 5,000 and then keep dividing by 10 for the smaller sizes. Is there any additional cost? There's additional cost only if you hold your positions overnight. So for our time, SG time 5 a.m., if you hold it over the timing, we'll be charging you swaps. But for euro dollar, if let's say you're going long, it'll be a negative swap, so you need to pay. And then for if let's say you did a sell and you hold, you actually be earning swaps, so positive swaps. Besides that, if let's say you're doing an intraday trading, if you maybe open now at maybe about 8 p.m. and close at about 1 a.m., a few hours from now, we won't actually charge you any swaps. So there's no extra charges besides the spread that you incur. But yeah, there's no extra costs. Okay, another question. Any website that provide good live technical chart? One of the audience said that she's using investing.com, but it lags. So yeah, definitely investing.com. The free charts, they're definitely going to lag. Because yeah, the other one is TradingView. That's okay, but it's a little bit laggy as well. Maybe you want to contact me and ask me which chart, which product maybe you're interested in. On our demo platform, the charts are actually much more real time than like investing.com or TradingView. So if you want, you actually can use the demo. If let's say for currency pair, you can use our demo charts for your trading. So I have another question. So in order to obtain my investment advice, am I referring to managing account services or normal Forex account user? So for us, Phillip Futures, our main products are either futures, CFD, Forex, and a little bit on options. So if you open a live account with us, I'll definitely send you the trade advices, investment advices for you. I do mainly on the more popular ones, but if let's say you do have a certain product that you are interested in, you can definitely text me and ask me to, and I'll help you take a look maybe at the chart or take a look at some news. Yeah, so open a live account and you will receive the advice, trade advice from me. Okay, I have another question. What is the ideal period to practice the demo? So for me, the ideal period would be 1 to 2 weeks, just to get you familiarized with the platform, entering a trade, exiting trade. Uh, yeah, because if let's say you start on a live account and you're practicing how to use the platform on a live account and you're entering and exiting trades, I don't know how profitable you'll be. Maybe you might run into some minimal losses. So it's always good maybe to try the demo account just to practice along the way. But do not fear, because if let's say you open a live account, you still can actually hold your demo account as well. So you can actually toggle quite easily between these two. Maybe want to try out some trades. Maybe if you want to try out some of the advice from me, if you do not believe that it might be good, you actually can try on the demo, see if it's profitable. Then you can, if it's good, you can actually can try that on a live account. It's also good maybe if you find a website that um, gives out trade signals or trade advice. Maybe you can try using their advice on a demo, see if it's profitable, and if it's really profitable, you can actually try use their advice on a live account. There's that way you can see how good their advice is. Yeah. Okay, another question from the audience. Do I have any slides that we can read or download? Okay, so actually, um, as I said earlier, I did a previous webinar on a little bit on the fundamental news. Um, if you like, I actually can email you the slides. Drop me your email, and then I can send you this presentation slides. Otherwise, they will upload this live webinar to YouTube sometime next week probably, and you can review from there on the webinar. If you, let's say you want to review or watch the video again, want to catch something, yeah. So they actually upload to YouTube next week, so you actually can take a look. And if you need the slides, drop me your email and then I can email you the slides. Okay, so another question asking what is the difference between MT5, Poems, and FX365. So these are actually they're just different trading platforms. So MT5 currently the products that are offered would be Forex and CFD products. So Poems is actually a platform by Phillip Securities. So they actually offer actually all of the products available, but you can actually can trade stocks, bonds, ETFs on it. So, but currently we are not offering Poems anymore to our Phillip Futures clients. So the two platforms that you will be able to will be available for you would be MT5 for FX and CFD trading, and then Nova platform for your futures trading. And FX365 is actually our in-house FX platform. So we developed it a while back. Now it's still available if you want to use, but I prefer MT5 because the charting is much better, and you have a hedge mode. For FX365, it's a net mode. So if let's say you have a buy position for euro dollar and you did a sell, when it hits your once you do a sell, it will actually square out your long position. So in that sense, I don't like how it doesn't have that kind of flexibility. So for MT5, you actually can hold buy and sell positions simultaneously. On FX365, there isn't that flexibility or that function for a hedge position. So yeah, so there's another question, how you can enter into a demo platform. There's the slide here, the right hand side QR code is to open an account. And then if you want to register the demo, the QR code on the left, yeah, do put my name, ZJF, under the account number, so that they know that you registered for my webinar, and maybe you are interested to try out the demo, and then maybe we can look at maybe after trying the demo into a live account. Another question. I have a regular account with Phillips. How to open a future account? Okay, so when you scan the QR code for account opening, they will ask you whether you want to open a futures account, a Forex account, or a futures and FX account. So yeah, you can decide which you want to choose. If you decide to open both futures and FX, you actually can choose which one you want to fund. So maybe if, let's say, you want to fund your Forex account first and then just leave your futures account, that is possible as well. So maybe just good to open two first, and then yeah, if your Phillips account, you mean Phillips Securities, then we are under one big group, Phillip Group, but we are separate entities from Phillips Securities. So you do need to open an account with us as well. The accounts, your personal information is not transferable from the securities account. Yeah. Another question: is there any charge if I would like to subscribe to your weekly account if I have an account with Philip? Uh, I'm not sure if you're referring to Phillip Securities or Phillip Futures. Um, just drop me your name. Maybe just drop me a text. And then I have to check. If, let's say, if you have a current broker now, if we're in slightly different teams, there might be a conflict of interest. Otherwise, if we're in the same team, no problem. No extra charges to receive those news from me. But do drop me your name, and let me know who's your current broker. If, let's say, you have an account with Phillip Futures already. There's another question. Is there any coaching for technical analysis? So, yes, I actually do coaching on technical analysis. So, if you are interested, we actually can do maybe face to face, or maybe we can do through Zoom. Let me know which currency pair you're interested in. Maybe I can give some advice to which indicator might be good. And maybe if, let's say, you're completely new to just start out on simple indicators that I use, maybe like moving average, Bollinger Bands, RSI, stochastic. These are like just basic indicators that you can plot out onto our MT5 platform, and you can use it from there. So if you are interested, yeah, we can just do a coaching on the technical analysis portion. Another question, can we set the order type in MT5 mobile version? Yes, you can set the order type on MT5 mobile version. And if, let's say, you do any trades on your desktop or mobile, it will be reflected. Let's say you did you placed an order type on the MT5 mobile, it will actually be reflected on the MT5 desktop. If, let's say, you are logged on both sides. So yeah, and any trades will be reflected both ways as well. So I actually think the mobile version is much more flexible. You can check prices, do trading like on the go, whether you're on the train or you're eating out. You can actually check prices, do some trading as well. Yeah, so the mobile very flexible. Okay, I'm just maybe it's just don't want to run it out too long. Thank you everybody for attending my webinar. And I'm really sincere apologies early on for the technical difficulties, and therefore started off a little bit late. Um, thank you for being thank you so much for being a wonderful audience for tonight's webinar. A link to the recording of this webinar will be available in our follow-up email tomorrow, and it will be available on YouTube as well sometime next week. So if you have any query on the webinar or would like to get started, simply reply to our email and we will get in touch with you. This is Jeremy signing off. Have a good evening ahead, and thank you for attending my webinar. See you all soon, and contact me if you have any questions.